Hello, 8th grade Bobcats. Mr. Flato here, coming at you today with a brand new Bob lesson, kind of in response to last week. Also to remind everybody to get their registration materials in. We're down to just a handful. I really need those in so you guys can get the classes you want next year. Last week on the 14th at the end of the day, had a walkout, and I'm not going to get into the particulars of it, but do want to say that really impressed with how our students handled it, using First Amendment right to promote positive change. Thought that group did an excellent job. Thought those that decided not to exercise that did a great job as well. You're going to find in life that as you get older, you start to see that there's differing opinions on a lot of things in life, and whether you're over here or whether you're over there on any given stance or situation, being who you are and speaking up and doing it the right way is really what is important. Going to hit on this issue from a little different angle today. Don't really want to touch on anything super political because that's not really my place, and I do see both sides of the political argument, but do want to touch on something that I believe is at the root of these type of situations in our society today. So I'm going to get rocking and rolling on this. Let's finish this third quarter strong. We got one more quarter to go until you guys are high school bound. So let's finish this last quarter strong. Super important. Make it a great week, 8th grade Bobcats. All right, this week's Bob lesson is going to be titled "The Root of Everything?" But first, let's be our best this week at HMS. Let's be Bob. Let's be safe. Let's be responsible. Let's be respectful. Let's be a learner. All right, I'm going to start this Bob lesson with an off-the-wall, outside-of-the-box approach like I normally do. I've got this nasty weed growing in my yard, and it's pretty common in my neighborhood for whatever reason. The seeds of the genetics are around, and if you look at the picture on the left, it starts out as just this little budding weed, and be careful though. You go to pull that, and those things are full of little prickly things that will stab you like a pin needle. And the picture on the right is when it gets bigger if you don't address it right away. And these things have the strongest root systems. You go to pull them out, they'll sting your finger, and then you can't quite get all of it. And forever, what I was doing was I was just running them over with my lawnmower, and sure enough, these are the hardiest, most resilient weeds around. It's called Canadian thistle, and it'll just grow right back until the day came that I realized you have to dig this up and dig up all of the roots. And that's kind of a metaphor for what I'm going to talk today when addressing the issue that we've kind of got going on in schools that happened in Florida a few weeks ago. I'm not going to really address it by name, and that was tied up to the walkout the other week. And the main point that I would like to make today, I'm not going to discuss or argue the rights and wrongs of how we go about change, but I will say that I really feel like, just like Canadian thistle, addressing issues, whatever the issue is, there's so many issues in life, we have to really get down and address it at the root of the issue, or it'll just keep coming back, just keep coming back, just keep coming back. Talked in previous Bob lessons about being a middle school student, being 14 years old, all really striving for the same things. And if you think about that, we can break these things roughly into, 8 or 9 big core categories. If you think about it, we're all striving to have a healthy sense of self-esteem, which can be really rare to find in middle school. It's such a tough age for everybody that they really struggle with self-esteem. We're all finding and looking for a sense of purpose. Maybe this comes when we get a little bit older. What is it that is my purpose in life? Do I just get up and live day to day, or do I have a greater sense of purpose? For sure, that who am I living for, trying to find identity, and you see this change all the time from 6th to 7th, 7th to 8th. I sit back and I watch you kids change so much as you evolve and refine into who you are. We all want acceptance. We all want to be accepted. Maybe not by everybody, but at least by a core group of other people. Being social human beings that we are, we want to be accepted. We also strive to be successful, to feel some sort of success on some level in some domain or area in life. As human beings, we need love, whether it's from our parents, whether it's from other people, whether it's from our friendship group, from positive adults, from positive peers. We all strive for love in life. That's one of the basic human needs or human tenets. We're all here to survive. If you think about it, some people don't think about it like that, but a lot of us are just trying to survive one day to the next until we can get onto that next level. And finally, fulfillment. We want to feel a sense of fulfillment in life for the work we do, for the things we do, for the things that we put work in on. So this is just kind of a basic list that really, no matter who you are, no matter your skin color, your gender, your preferences, your hobbies, your personalities, we are all striving for these same things in life. At the same time, we are all wanting and striving for the same things. I think we would all agree that life has its share of challenges, these same challenges that most of us experience. Some of us experience more of these challenges, some of us less of these challenges. But for some of us, just getting up and out of bed every day is a challenge. For some of us, being attentive and learning is a challenge. For some of us, engaging in our own education is a challenge. For some of us, making and keeping friendships is a huge challenge. For some of us, feeling accepted by others is a challenge. And I think that's one of the key ones in terms of what we're talking about today. For some of us, dealing with our changing bodies is a challenge. For all of us, we have challenges that aren't even listed here. So kind of moving into the root of what I'm talking about today. When I talk about characteristics of students I've observed in regards to the students that have committed these horrible acts in other schools, it comes down to a handful of things. These are students that feel ostracized. That means they feel disconnected. They feel squeezed out of a group. I see students that feel disconnected. They don't feel a part of the school community or the society within a school. Kind of the same thing, that lack of belonging. I don't see that these students feel like they have a place or feel like they belong in these schools, in their respected schools they came from. Some of these students have been bullied or disrespected over time, causing some of these students to feel revengeful. And that's a huge one, I think, feeling revengeful, feeling they have to take out their anger on other people. And then ultimately, nobody commits these acts if they feel hope. And so putting hopeless on here is another one. So when we look down this group, ostracized, disconnected, lack of belonging, bullied, revengeful, hopeless, these are the characteristics that I've observed in my own opinion. So what can we do about that? This is kind of getting back to the root of it. Ways to make a daily difference in our school, in our communities, is to say hello to a classmate you've never spoken to before. Maybe some of these classmates feel disconnected and feel like they don't have a sense of belonging, and sometimes just a simple hello, how was your day, can make such a huge difference. Give a random person an authentic compliment. I try to do this as much as I can. Hey, I like those sneakers, nice haircut, like that shirt you're wearing today. It's just as easy to spread positive energy as it is to spread negative energy and put somebody else down. Invite someone new to sit with you at lunch if maybe they don't have anybody to sit with, or they're sitting alone. Say, hey, why don't you come sit with us if you'd like? Some people like sitting alone, but other people would maybe gladly accept that invitation. Maybe partner up in class on a project with somebody new. I'm not sure how your teachers assign you guys projects, whether it's or partners, whether it's by seating arrangements. But if you ever get your own opportunity or to have a team in PE, invite somebody new. You never know what you're going to learn from someone that you don't usually come in contact with. Do one random act of kindness daily, and that can be anything. Help somebody pick something up if they drop it. Hold the door for somebody. That can be so powerful if we all do that. How about just asking someone how's their day going? Just stop and having a conversation and letting somebody know that you care. That can be so powerful sometimes. Stand up in support for someone who needs it. When you see something wrong, talked about bullying and bystanders, how about standing up and supporting someone who you can tell needs that help? Or simply be kind to everyone you come across. I think if we all do these things and we all want to make a daily difference, we can have more of this in our world, and that's something at a grassroots level. Getting back to that Canadian Thistle, really getting at the root of these things. So much of it comes down to kindness and empathy. See in the world. Again, want to reiterate that I'm not taking a stance on what happened last week. I think positive leadership, doing things the right way by our young people is such a powerful thing. Speaking on change that they would like to see, doing it in a peaceful way, exercising their First Amendment right. I am no way taking sides on that, but I think that no matter what side you take on things, we can all agree that kindness and looking out for one another and everybody being the change that you wish to see in the world can be such a powerful thing. All right, that brings us to this week's Jellybean Question of the Week winners, who are Lila Ackerman, Alex Bullock, Jerica Higas, Raiden, and Annalise Haskins. I was in Miss McMahon's class when they were watching this last week. I think everybody was overthinking it. It was second place, kind of tricky. All right, this week's Jellybean Question of the Week is, which number is missing out of this sequential order of numbers? If you think you know, submit your answer to the Bob box no later than Friday. All right, Bobcats, let's go out and make it a great week. The last week before spring break at the Helena.